The music swells, candlelight flickers across a room filled with silk gowns and diamond tiaras. A champagne glass tips, and the laughter around it stops. Somewhere, hidden behind the gold and glitter, a single piece of paper changes hands, and with it, the fate of New York's most powerful families. In the Gilded Age, secrets don't just ruin reputations. They destroy empires. Season 3 of the Gilded Age left us standing on the edge of a cliff built not of stone, but of lies, ambition, and the polished manners of high society. In the final moments of the last season, alliances shifted in the span of a single glance, and fortunes hung by a thread. It wasn't just a battle between the old money and the newly rich anymore. It became a war for control over the future itself. Bertha Russell, who once seemed like an outsider crashing the gates of New York's elite, proved herself more cunning than anyone expected. Her climb was ruthless, but it was calculated, yet. The higher she rose, the more enemies she gathered, enemies who know the rules of this world better than anyone, because they wrote them. Across the ballroom, Agnes Van Ryn held her ground, her gaze as sharp as the diamonds pinned to her. Color, her grip on tradition, and on her social circle, is unyielding. But even the strongest grip can slip. The streets outside these grand houses told a different story. One of shifting industries, restless workers, and the rise of new power players with no patience for the etiquette of the past. Every carriage, ride, and every whispered conversation in a drawing room seemed to carry a message. Change is coming, and no one will leave unscathed. But it wasn't just about power and money. It was about love that could be bought, love that could be lost, and love that could be weaponized. In this city, a marriage proposal wasn't just a declaration of affection. It was a contract, a business deal, and sometimes a weapon of revenge. Every romantic gesture came with strings, and those strings were pulled tight enough to strangle. By the end of the season, the fractures in New York's golden surface began to split wide open. Some characters clung desperately to the life they knew, while others looked to tear it all down and build something new in its place. But every one of them knew the truth, that survival in this world depends on knowing who to trust and who to betray. Now, as season 4 approaches, the stakes have never been higher. The trailer opens the doors once again to grand ballrooms, smoky backrooms, and the cobblestone streets where power changes hands with every whispered deal. The city has grown louder, the scandals sharper, and the risks deadlier. This isn't just another season. It's the moment when all the debts, favors, and lies from the past come due, and when they do, someone will pay the price. From the first frame of the season 4 trailer, it's clear, this is not the same New York we left behind. The camera sweeps across the city, and while the skyline still glitters, the shadows feel longer, heavier. The world of the Gilded Age has grown sharper, and so have the people who rule it. The first scene we see is a lavish gala, light spilling from chandeliers onto polished marble floors. The gowns are grander, the jewels brighter, and yet every smile feels just a touch too rehearsed. This is not celebration for the sake of joy. This is a battlefield dressed in silk and gold. Each greeting, each toast, each gentle laugh hides a calculation. Who can be gained as an ally tonight? Who must be quietly destroyed? The tone is darker, more urgent. In just a few quick cuts, we see a trembling servant delivering a sealed envelope, a carriage door slamming in the rain, and Bertha Russell standing before a mirror, her reflection cold and unreadable. Gone is the woman begging for a place at the table. She is now the one deciding who gets a seat. And yet, her eyes betray the truth. Even those in power are never safe. Then the trailer gives us our first glimpse of new faces. A young man steps off a steamship, his suit pressed, but his eyes scanning the crowd like a predator. No introduction, no name, only the subtle hint of a smile that suggests he already knows where he belongs in this game. In another shot, a widowed socialite dressed in deep mourning black walks into a ballroom uninvited. her presence turning heads like a sudden gust of cold air. These newcomers are not here to admire the view. They're here to claim it. We catch flashes of familiar characters to Agnes, her jaw set tighter than ever. Marian, caught between hope and duty. George Russell, watching from the edge of a smoky meeting room as rival businessmen whisper around him. There's a shift in each of them, a sense that the lines between friend and enemy are starting to blur. The trailer wastes no time in hinting at the conflicts to come. A new railway deal whispered over brandy glasses, a scandalous headline being set in ink, a public humiliation so carefully staged, you can almost hear the gasps of the crowd. It feels as though every scene is building towards something, not a single moment is idle. Season 4 doesn't look like it's just telling another chapter of this story. It feels like the beginning of the end for someone, maybe several. The question is, who will have the vision to outlast the rest, and who will be swallowed whole by the very world they fought to control? Every trailer hides its secrets in plain sight, and Season 4's is no different. At first, it feels like a rush of glamorous scenes stitched together for drama, but if you slow it down, frame by frame, the hints start to appear. The first big clue comes in a fleeting shot of a steamship cutting through the fog. It's only on screen for 2 seconds, but in those 2 seconds, we see dockworkers shouting, a crate crashing to the ground, and the shadow of a man watching from the pier. It's not just a scene-setting moment, it's a signal. Someone new has arrived in New York, and they're bringing change with them. Then there's the shot of Bertha Russell exchanging a handshake in the dark. The lighting is deliberate. We can't see the other person's face. But the angle of the handshake suggests familiarity, not formality. Whoever it is, this isn't their first deal together. Could it be a secret alliance or a rekindled one from seasons past? The trailer doesn't answer, but it wants us asking. A moment later, we see a newspaper headline blurred just enough to force us to look closer. The only words that stand out are railway scandal and Senate hearing. It's a small detail, but in the Gilded Age, scandals involving railways usually meant fortunes rising or collapsing overnight. If George Russell's empire is tied to this, the fallout could be massive. There's also a blink-and-you-miss-it scene in which Marian is standing alone in an opera balcony. She looks down, expression unreadable, while a man in the crowd below glances up at her. The shot lingers just long enough for us to sense tension, maybe longing, maybe danger. The opera setting itself isn't random. In this world, it's where deals are whispered between acts and reputations are shattered with a single glance. One of the most cryptic moments comes near the end of the trailer. A chandelier crashing to the floor in slow motion. The glass shatters. Across the marble, guests scream, and the music cuts to silence. It's a symbolic image, yes, but in a series that loves double meanings, it could also be a hint. Was this an accident or a message sent by someone who wants to remind New York's elite that nothing is too beautiful to be destroyed? Fans are already speculating about the stranger in mourning black who appears twice in the trailer, once entering a party uninvited, and once standing in the rain outside a mansion. She doesn't speak a word in the footage, yet her presence is magnetic. The costume choice suggests she's recently widowed, but her calm, steady gaze implies she's not in mourning for long. The question is, whose side will she choose, if she chooses any at all? And finally, the trailer ends with just 2 words spoken in voiceover. It begins, we don't know who says it. We don't know what exactly is beginning, but if the Gilded Age has taught us anything, it's that beginnings in this world usually mean someone else's end. Beneath all the jewels, politics, and whispered deals, the Gilded Age has always been a story about people driven by desire, fear, pride, and the desperate need to matter in a world that forgets you the moment you lose your standing. Season 4's trailer makes it clear. The battles this season will be fought on 2 fronts, in the open halls of power and in the private corners of the heart. One recurring theme is the cost of ambition. Every frame in the trailer seems to ask the same question: how much are you willing to lose to get what you want? We see Bertha Russell stepping into a grand ballroom, her smile perfect, her gown flawless, but the flicker in her eyes hints at the toll her rise has taken. We see Marion caught between two worlds, torn between her own happiness and the expectations placed upon her, and we see George Russell in a boardroom, his hands clasped tightly, as if holding together not just his business empire, but his entire identity. Asterisk, there's also the theme of reputation as a weapon. In this society, a ruined name is more destructive than a financial collapse. The trailer shows us a scene where a servant quietly listens at a door, another where a woman slips a letter into the wrong person's coat pocket, and a final moment where Agnes Van Ryn looks out a carriage window, her face unreadable as the city passes by. Every move is calculated. Every rumor is courtesy. Love, too, takes center stage, but not the soft, innocent kind. This is love used as leverage, as a bargaining chip, and sometimes as a trap. A man kneels to propose, but the woman's expression is not joy, it's victory. Another couple dances in the flicker of candlelight, yet their eyes are locked in a silent battle. Here, romance is rarely about love alone. It's about what love can win you. Asterisk, the tone of the trailer tells us that this season will not shy away from loss. The chandelier crashing to the floor is not just a visual flourish, it's a warning. Things will break, people will fall, and some may never recover. Yet within that chaos lies the thrill of the fight, the intoxicating pull of power, and the hope that, just maybe, you'll be the one left standing when the dust clears. Asterisk, as the final seconds of the trailer play, the music fades into a low, pulsing beat. We see a figure walking alone through the snow, their identity hidden by the shadows. A door opens, light spills out, and a single voice, calm, certain, says, "It begins." Asterisk, season 4 of the Gilded Age arrives. Insert official release date on insert streaming platform. Every episode promises more lavish visuals, more tangled alliances, and more of the razor-sharp drama that has made this series unforgettable. But remember, in this world, nothing is given freely. Every victory comes with a price. And sometimes, the price is everything. Asterisk, so take a deep breath, pour yourself a glass of champagne, and step into the ballroom. The season is about to begin, and in the Gilded Age, the only thing more dangerous than having power is wanting it. Asterisk, the trailer leaves us with more questions than answers, and that's exactly the point. Every shot, every line, every glance feels like a clue we're meant to obsess over until the premiere. Who is the figure in the shadows? What power play is about to detonate the social order? And perhaps the most pressing question, who will still be standing when the season ends? Asterisk, the Gilded Age has always thrived on the tension between what is shown and what is hidden. The ballrooms glitter, but the foundations beneath them are cracked. People smile as they pass each other in the street, but those smiles often mask daggers. This is the art of survival in 1880s New York. Not just living, but staying relevant, staying powerful, and staying untouchable. Asterisk, season 4 promises to push those rules to their breaking point. The newcomers we glimpsed in the trailer aren't here to simply join the game, they're here to rewrite it. And that means the old guard, for all their wealth and tradition, may be facing their greatest threat yet. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will sharpen, and every character will be forced to ask themselves, when the game changes, can you change with it? Or will you be left behind? Asterisk, and then there's the unspoken tension that laces through every scene. This isn't just about who wins and loses. It's about what they're willing to do to get there. A fortune can be rebuilt. A title can be reclaimed. But once you cross certain lines, there's no going back. Asterisk, the chandelier shattering isn't just a piece of dramatic imagery. It's a promise. This season, the facade will crack. The elegance will splinter. And when the dust settles, The city will not look the same. Asterisk the clock is ticking toward the premiere. Insert release date, streaming exclusively on insert platform. Until then, the whispers will grow louder, the speculation will spread, and the anticipation will only build. Asterisk, so tell me, who do you think will rise in Season 4? Who will fall? And which alliances will prove stronger than blood itself? Leave your theories below, because in the Gilded Age, every guess could be right. Or it could be the start of an entirely different story. Asterisk, remember, in this world, it's not enough to simply survive. You must shine, even when the lights are about to go out. The ballroom doors are opening once more, and as the voice in the trailer says, it begins, asterisk.